Document definition language. Take control of your efforts. We have many formats for our information that we put on the screen. We have HTML, which is our way we display through one browser, single application, and you put a lot of effort into that particular format. And I'm saying, why couldn't we use it for other formats? And I'm saying HTML doesn't work. PDF, which is its own little format with a very specific application to display its content. And so I'm saying, why don't we create our own language that every application has access to, and it's built directly into the compiler. So I have 3 slides here, I think following this one. Basically what I'm trying to do with my definition language, and then the demonstration of the capabilities of my concept, which is to say, can we create a language that is application independent? And this is the page that you probably came in on, was my little demonstration. It's your work. When you create a form or an application, you'd like to be able to use that anywhere for any purpose. And not have, if you do Excel spreadsheets, it's your work. Why don't we have access to that and be able to use it in any application? Why are we going through other applications to do that? So you want your work to be used by every application. So whether you're creating a map of Houston, all the parcels, or a refinery, or whatever engineering pieces that you're doing, or chemical designs, or music, or whatever it is, you'd like every application to have access to that same information, which is simply displaying on the screen. And we'd like to be able to share your work with everyone, so everyone has an application that can take all of your information as though. And so we want it used for every type of document. It's a document. Hey, we put text, images, and lines on the screen. That's it. We don't do anything else. So it should work on all hardware, if it can. I mean, if it's a refrigerator, it may have a little screen on it, and that's the area. But operating systems, it should be totally operating system independent. Shouldn't care or which compiler you're using. Actually, all of this work that I'm showing you is going to be built directly into the compiler, so you actually have nothing to do except design your document. And you want to do that easily. So we want it used for every display purpose. So if you want to create your own web browser, you can do that. Here, we'll be able to do that as a workstation application form. So if you want to write a C++ application, you need forms. And this will provide that same capability through the same interface, through the same document definition language. There are no, and we'll get in that when we see the demo. Or as a PDF generator. So it's this form. Right now, trying to take HTML to PDF is a joke, basically because HTML has so many programmer-specific design criteria in their display that it's impossible to go through all those variations that they've built in, when in actuality it's just lines, text, and images. So, or you want to create a multiple monitor display system. You may have 10 monitors and you want to tile 6 of them to one application, to one screen, and break that up so that it's the same thing, which is screens, areas on the screen, and content. Or as a pen plotter or anything else, a 3D printer maybe is you can visualize as a screen and you want different areas of it. CNC, robots, maps, music, charts, just about any purpose that you would want something on the screen. So first and foremost, the screen. We're looking at a screen, we're looking at an area. We want to be able to put content on it. So we start by breaking the screen into regions for content. It may be just one region, the whole screen. I want my PowerPoint slideshow here to be on one screen. Or we want to break it up into 2 or 3 contents. So the primary objective of a region, some region on the screen, is the placement of content on our display device, whatever it is, on our monitor, on our printers, or whatever device we're talking about, on our phone or whatever. It's the same issue. The logic doesn't change. So the functionality of a region is we move borders, padding, and margins pretty much on the region. It's really, the content shouldn't care about these things, and so they can still set them. We're not limiting any capabilities here. I'm trying to demonstrate the realistic values 99% of the time that we do, and then display characteristics of the content, which is we should be able to put global content on something. And this is just not that it's necessary all the time, but we need all these capabilities, whatever capabilities we can come up with. Or a coordinate system. So the region may have its own coordinate system, and we can define that. Or rotation, or tilt, or whatever. Or units, or scales, zoom factors, and events. So some of these events, we might want to be able to move borders and things and resize different regions. And this is pretty much the capabilities and the responsibilities of the region. And it should be understood by a third grader. So no assumptions. When I say it's blue, it's blue. If it has padding, it has padding. If it's this size, it's that size, period. And it should be good for 1,000 years. So no version. So this is self-contained, application-independent structure, self-evident. So it contains all the knowledge it needs for anybody, for any application, whether the logic's supplied or not, to be able to be used. So the demo, what we're going to be looking at in the demo. So we want to really look at a technology, not an application. I don't want to think of this as an application says, here's HTML, I'm going to display that. No, yes, and we have PDF, and that's an application, and we have Word, and we have PDFs, and Excel, and thousands and billions. We do video editing. We have another screen with its certain capabilities, but it's still drawing lines, text, and images on the screen. We start here, and then we give each user access to the screen for any purpose. So that's what we're after. I will show you a demonstration of this technology, which is we're going to be looking at creating and managing screen regions, placing content into the region. How do we do that? What does that look like? How much effort is that for the user? And creating some content. So I have some content. We'll show you how that's created and how that's database driven. Could be database driven or not. I mean, these are just simply knowledgeable definition languages. So let the games begin, and we will start my demo. This is our demo of this page. This is the web page that we want to create. So I've set it up so we can look at how this is created and what my definition language looks like. We will look at the structures that are needed to build this page. This is a little application web page that I created to build that page. So this here is the definition language for building. So this page, the yellow area, the tan area, the white area, these tabs and this copyright notice is defined within that structure. This area here is defined in a separate file, which is this file here. So we'll look at that. Okay, this is the file that builds the tan area. And that tan area is created and referenced from this example. So this includes that file, parts of speech. What I've done is I've designed that content is just simply reference to the things that we want to put into our regions. And we build regions through this specification here. So this main line here that gives it an ID so we can reference it This is the content that's going in there, which are the pages. And this is some style that we want for that region. And then these are separate regions that we divide the body into. We will comment out these and generate the body. So this is the body, the white area, and it has a yellow border around it. So what we do then is we define the body of the page that we're creating, and then we come in and we start removing areas to put in to other regions. So we'll say we want the top. So we have 4 sides to the body, and we can put regions in all 4 areas: top, bottom, left, and right. Okay. So this will generate the top, the yellow area. I put a red board around it just to make sure it was being produced properly. And then it has a body. Okay, and we can do this for all the areas. So I then have a blue area. I just wanted a line there, so I just used an area. And I didn't give it any content. I just said it was 13 pixels wide. And we put a pink border around it and our back. And I put the colors in here mainly so we could talk about the areas. It's not for pretty, it's just simply as reference. And then we can come in and say left. We can put our example, which is that complex element that I build, and we can generate that. So we did 2 tops, and then we did a left. And it's order dependent. So if I did left, it would go, if I did left first, it would go all the way to the top, and then these would come in. So if we wanted to reorder this, so if I put left first, then it generates the left first, and then it takes off the top. So this is all dependent upon what order and how you want your pages to look. So the layout is pretty simple. So we can return this here. And we have tabs, so we're going to take, this is, once we did, now we want tabs in off of the body. So these tabs we put in here. And in each of those tabs, we have different content, which is here. So these are the tabs. We define the tabs here, and these are the pages that we associate to those tabs. So comments is content, script A is this script, script B is this script. Look at that. This page has this script, and I wanted it numbered. So I just said on line 12, that's where the tabs are, and so on. And then this script is this layout, this complex layout. And it has many, many pages. So here we have parts of speech, verbs. So these are overlaid pages that we're defining, and we turn them on and off depending upon our selection. So if I want a name of, so title of, so Gone with the Wind would be a title of a book and a movie. Anyway, we do this a lot, these complex overlaid selection menus. When I started writing this in HTML, it became impossible to really perfect it because it was extremely irritating to do all the logic. And so here I broke it down into sections. So this first section says I need this selection menu, which is here. So these are the things that we're selecting. If we wanted another selection area, we could just add it here. And then parts of speech, when you select this noun, verb, adjective, and so on. And then when you select verb, I have further selections. So it could be a past tense, present tense, or future tense. But we could add, and all of this could be driven from a database. And again, here we use a region. So these elements, once this tan area is defined, then put in this region relative to 0, 0 being here or wherever you want to put it. And then finally, we can put our copyright into our content. And it's here. So we put the blue area. And this is the way I want to build pages. This is a rough draft of the concept. So this, I believe, is much easier. I put these in here so we can generate PDF files from this format, or Word documents, or RTF, or generate an application form. What we want is something that we can control. We want to create a so here we can add a new tab, a generated document, nothing in it. We want to put in something. I kind of, like I said, this is a rough. And so this will generate give us a new tab and put in the content of that document. So here we have, and this is the generated document that you're looking at. This is the source code for this. This whole logic is second grade logic. We learn about the number line in second grade. Basically, all of this logic that we're doing is second grade. So this is the full determines, we call this from resize. So when we resize this page, it calls that function and readjusts the page based upon the size of the window. Okay. And so this is second grade logic, and basically comes down and goes through all the regions and takes them off the body. So we start with the body and the range of the body, which is here. So our window inner height and window inner width are defined, and then we set up a range so we get it top, bottom, left, right, width, and height. This logic is fairly simple. We just remove stuff from the size of the window and put its content. Once we're done with all the pieces, then we come in and place the body, because now we know exactly where it's at. That's my demonstration of the rough draft. I will surely make improvements on this and start building databases so that every application can just reuse. We need forms for save as menus and open as and open and close and select a font, select a color, and all of these standard type of environments. If you wanted a YouTube type of web page, then we create those, put those in our database, accessible through the compiler. So you just say, look, I just want a YouTube website for myself, for my own company, and so on, and make this so that it's, maybe you don't like JavaScript as your editing environment within your web pages. We could use Cobalt. It doesn't make any difference. We could use C++, we could use Assembler, we could use any of these languages. Well, that's the demo of the data definition language. The same technology will be able to build compilers, editors, operating systems in the same fashion. Basically just break it down to the content that we want, and how we want to accomplish that. And so for building compilers, we're selecting statements and capabilities that we want in our compilers. For operating systems, I want to get where every application is bootable if you wish it. So I wrote this accounting system, and it's one application, and it just boots up. Don't need an operating system. We can get rid of all the overhead and security issues by building our own operating systems, having bootable applications. And the application could be an operating system. An operating system is simply runs applications, other applications, more than one. But if we only have one, we don't need an operating system. Or if we want to have an operating system of our own, then we can do that. Editors will be able to, we need to get editors so that we can take advantage of all this form technology that I'm looking at and build all of these capabilities so we can have mapping editors and math, be able to edit math as we would write on paper, and we want to be able to accomplish that. It really boils down to, we got 27 lines to describe this form, at least the layout and some of the content, but this could be, an editor of what we're editing. We want to edit images, fine. That's pretty much standard. Same thing with video or text, mathematics, music, dance, just chemistry, physics, all of these things we are doing in separate applications. We really want to do it as an application that can do it all. We just say, look, I want a map in this area and I want to edit it. And that's where we're going to go. Anyway, well, thank you for your time and have a great one. Bye now.